उपविष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम् वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवां च श्रीरूपं सागरजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनाश्रयितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादां सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितं च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादे पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्वेसे नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्ता श्रीराधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गे श्रीराधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरोभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे यस हरे कृष्ण एम आई ऑडिबल ना
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes,
ओके हरे कृष्ण प्रभु so we were reading this 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita so I'll just So there were the certain 6 questions were asked by Arjuna to Lord, and so these were the 6 questions. I'm just sharing with all of you. So this 6 questions he asked about what is Chetra, Chetragya, what is Jnanam, and Geya, and Purusha, and Prakriti. So till now we read about Chitra and Chitragya, which is the third and fourth questions answer has been given. And the Chitra is this body, and the Chitragya is the Atma and the soul and super soul both. Now let us come to the further part, which is the Jnana. The fifth question answers Krishna is giving. Today we are going to see that. So let us begin with this. So this is 8 to 12 is the Jnana. So these are actually the 5 slokas together. This is the first time in the whole Bhagavad Gita that where the 5 slokas together has been given, and simultaneously Prabhupada is giving the purport of all the 5 together, because these all 5 slokas they contain that 20 items of knowledge, so which is described here. So these 20 items of knowledge are there, in which 17 are for Jnanis, Jnani yogis and Bhakti yogi both. And there is a one item is exclusively that is for the Bhakti yogi in one sense. And there is a 2 qualities which is exclusively the Jnani yogis follow. So now let us see that Amanitvam Adambitvam Ahimsa Santir Arjavam Acharyopasanam Socham Stheriam Atma Vinigraha Indyartesu Vairagyam Ahankara Evacha Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadi Dukha Dosanu Darshanam Asaktir Asaktir Anabhivasanga Putra Dara Grahadisu Nityam Cha Samachitatvam Sthanistopapattisu मयि चानन्य योगिन भक्तिरव्यभिचारिणि विविक्तदेश सेवित्वम् अरक्तिर्ज्ञान संसदि आध्यात्म ज्ञान नित्यत्वम् तत्त्वज्ञानार्थं दर्शनम् एतज्ज्ञानमिति प्रोक्तम् अज्ञानं यत् अतोऽन्यथा. Yes, somebody can read the just translation, then we'll begin discuss.
Humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance, simplicity, approaching a bona fide spiritual master, cleanliness, steadiness, self-control, renunciation of the objects of sense gratification, absence of false ego, the perception of the evil of birth, death, old age, and disease, detachment, freedom from entanglement with children, wife, home, and the rest, even even-mindedness amid pleasant and unpleasant events, constant and unallied devotion to me, aspiring to live in a solitary place, detachment from the general mass of people, accepting the importance of self-realization and philosophical search for the absolute truth. All these I declare to be knowledge, and besides these, whatever there may be is ignorance.
Hmm. So these are the 20 items of knowledge has been mentioned here. But actually, you will find what Krishna is telling here. Okay, knowledge does not mean just uh, the interaction of the different elements, 24 elements, which he has mentioned in the previous verses. And, so generally, people's understanding of knowledge means what? Okay, just interaction of the elements. Like what we also study in our colleges and schools is just what we study, that how the elements are interacting, how Panchamahabhut is coming, like chemical department, mechanical department, all this department we see, this civil department. What is that? We are studying about the elements, different elements, how they are interacting with each other. But that is not the knowledge according to Krishna. What is the knowledge? Given Krishna is explaining that here, knowledge means having all these qualities. Knowledge means character. That's why Prabhupada also says, education does not mean, education means character. You know? So, but nowadays we find in the world the education, people go for education. The whole purpose of education is not character. The purpose of education is how I can get more money. And so, but here Krishna is explaining that if somebody has really got the knowledge, means he will be developing all these qualities. And, but you find that previously Krishna says in 12th chapter also, and, that somebody perform devotional service, he will automatically have all good qualities. And, somebody perform the devotional service, then automatically he will have all good qualities. Then why Krishna is explaining here all other qualities? Yes, anybody?
Guruji, like Miss Krishna is telling me because like if we cultivate this quality, so this our like purification will be very fast. Because Krishna is working
No,
on
but
like
Krishna is telling you do bhakti, you will get all good qualities. But then Krishna is telling you have to practice also all these qualities. Yes, anyone?
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Sasank bro.
Prabhuji, I think Krishna tells about bhakti when he says about bhakti, he is talking about the pure bhakti. But most of the times we practice in this material world is what is called as mixed bhakti. So that's why we need
Hmm.
to develop these qualities to support that bhakti also. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Or anybody else? Anybody else? Any other devotees? Any other understanding?
Hare Krishna,
To
Prabhuji.
measure ourselves, Prabhuji, where in bhakti means at what stage
To measure, to
ourselves
measure our,
judge
to measure
ourselves.
ourselves means what?
So, Prabhuji,
Okay,
what
where?
let's we where we are. Let's say we are practicing bhakti, but are we cultivating
No,
this?
but my question is that when you perform bhakti, then Krishna is telling you, you develop automatically all these qualities. And
Exactly, Prabhuji.
so what is the need of then Krishna is mentioning here? And so I think Vishnujan Prabhu is telling that okay, we'll be able to measure ourselves कि कितना चले गए हैं.
Yes,
But
Prabhuji. Exactly.
actually, I'm asking that what about that? If you perform bhakti, you'll get all these qualities. Yes, Vivek Prabhu is telling something.
Prabhuji, like what I could think, Prabhuji, Krishna said that all the good qualities, like by performing bhakti, will get all those good qualities. But what all good qualities will get, I think this all the all qualities will get. So like, if I'm performing bhakti nicely, then I will get the qualities. But which are qualities? That's what Krishna is mentioning here.
Okay, which all qualities? But this is not exactly the answer of that. Ki, okay, I'll already cultivate. Then Krishna does not have to mention all this and give the 5 verses here.
Priji, one explanation can be there means this from chapter 13 to 18. This is Gyan Yoga, no? So in this
Hmm.
Krishna is mentioning because in Bhakti Yoga in middle chapters there is no mentioning here, and in from chapter 13 to 18 this is Gyan Yoga. So Krishna is mentioning because in Gyan Yoga we have to practice all these qualities, but in Bhakti Yoga by cultivating bhakti we automatically develop these qualities. That's why Krishna is mentioning here.
Okay, so as a devotee, we don't have to practice, right?
And we have to
That's what
practice.
you want to say because we are bhakti yogi.
We have to practice, but
And
भक्ति प्रैक्टिस करने से खुद
so
से
that
आ
is my
जाता
question. Why? हाँ, तो उससे आ जाते तो हमको प्रैक्टिस करने का जरूरत नहीं है, right?
है.
Okay, good. All of you gave. So, thank you very much for participating. So, how it is like that? And okay, Krishna is mentioning here. There are, actually, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also says that there are the different qualities of the devotees are there, but then devotees have to practice those qualities. They have to cultivate those qualities. Not that just yes, they will come by the devotional service, but while practicing devotional service, they have to strive for them also. Then let us see now how it's going to happen and why Krishna is mentioning here. And, so when we have to strive for these all qualities, and actually when we have the regular practice them, then what happened? Krishna become very pleased with us that we are striving for these qualities. And, then what happened? The Krishna gives these qualities seeing our attitude. And, just like some devotee, for example, some devotee become uh, some devotee comes to you and then what happened? He become angry upon you because of some mistake you have committed. Now that devotee has become angry upon you, so there is a two things can happen. Either you one thing is that you tolerate that situation, another you may react in that situation. Is it not? And if you tolerate externally, internally you are not able to tolerate. Internally you are also angry now. You want to speak or do something, getting na. But externally you tolerated it. है ना? Then what happened? Krishna become very happy with you. Krishna become very pleased with you, seeing that externally you have tolerated it. And that's how Krishna will give you this quality of tolerance internally also. And he will give you that quality. The internal over a period of time, this quality of tolerance will automatically embedded in you. And like that's why we says, no, if you want to be enthusiastic, then act enthusiastically. You might have heard this statement many of the time. When you act enthusiastically, then what happens? Krishna become very pleased with you. Then Krishna will give you enthusiasm. Even if you don't like to be enthusiastic, but you act enthusiastically, then Krishna gives you that quality. And, so that's why Krishna is telling here, and this is very, very important for all of us to practice also these qualities. है ना? Now let us see one more question for all of you. In We read all these 20 qualities, है ना? Which is the most important quality which has been mentioned here in this 20 items of knowledge is there, है ना? Which is the most important quality? Anyone can dictate. If that has, then all other qualities will come.
Going to the spiritual master.
No,
Prabhuji, humility.
no. Which is, I told na, there are 20 qualities are there. Humility, some other person may also have. Somebody practicing spirituality, he may have humility. He may be jnani yogi. है ना?
जी this mic chen ananya yogi na bhakti ko bandi.
Which bhakti, we are talking for devotees, है ना? For devotee, what is the most important quality out of these 20? Yes.
प्रभुजी एक डिवोटेड टू मी करके उसमें लिखा था, मतलब लॉर्ड के प्रति डिवोशन।
हाँ भक्ति रविचारिणी this quality.
Ah, exactly. This is the one of the most important. What is that? The Bhakti Avyavicharini, taking shelter of the Lord. Krishnera Saranam is that one quality of a devotee by which all other qualities manifest. And this is makes the devotee different from other. You know. Now I'll little bit discuss about, because if you can understand this concept which I'm going to discuss, then whole section is very, because you can read the purport and you can understand by your own. So what is, there is a one sloka which is all of you might have heard, that yasasti bhaktir bhagavati akinchana sarvesh gunes tatra samasate sura harava bhaktasya kuto mahat guna manovrate nastadhavati bahi. है ना? Somebody knows the, anybody like to tell the meaning of this sloka? Yes, anybody knows the meaning of this sloka which I spoken just now?
All good
Yes,
qualities
raise your hands. Karthik, okay, Karthik will see.
means all good qualities of demigods manifest in a bhakta, in a devotee. And whereas if someone not practicing devotional life, means he is not better than, yeah, means he is going to hell's
Hmm.
life like that.
Hmm. Exactly. If somebody has become the devotee, है ना, तो all other good qualities will come into him, है ना? But somebody is not a devotee, although he may have all those good qualities, but he is just going on a mental chariot only, है ना? So he may lose over a period of time all good qualities. Now let us understand this concept very nicely. So there is a one non-devotee, and then there is a devotee. Devotee does not have any good qualities, but non-devotee is very gentlemanly, and we may like those non-devotees who are very gentlemanly. But devotee is very rough and tough, and we may not like that devotee. है ना? So sometimes the question may comes that, "Arey, better than these devotees are the non-devotees. And let me have the friendship with non-devotees. Let me associate with those non-devotees." But let us understand this: although non-devotee may have all other good qualities, but he does not have one quality, that is Krishnera Saranam. है ना? Then how that non-devotee's life is going on? So Krishna says he may have good qualities, but those good qualities are there due to his upbringings, due to being in contact with the mode of goodness. Currently, because he is in mode of goodness, his liking and disliking is also like a mode of goodness, and that's how he has all good qualities. But the day his mood changes, his sangha changes, he comes to Rajaguna, Tamuguna, then what will happen? All these good qualities he will lose. How? Because his manoratena dhavati bai. He is going on the chariot of mind. है ना? His life is going according to chariot of his mind. And chariot of mind has the two wheel. What is the two wheel of the chariot of mind? That is a liking and disliking. है ना? All of you are understanding this chariot of mind which has the two wheel? is called liking and disliking. तो अभी वो क्या है ना, सतोगुण में है, तो उसका लाइकिंग और डिसलाइकिंग भी सतोगुण में है ना. He may like to rise early in morning, he may eat sattvic food and all that. The day, and that's how we may find him to be very good person. But the day his association changes, he goes to Rajoguna and Tamoguna, his liking and disliking will also change. He may start liking all the nonsense things. Then his chariot will be start going in another direction. The one of the example that I gave to, I think I was sharing with many devotees also here. So what was that? कि in Bombay there was one girl was there, and she was purely Brahmana family. She never eaten meat in her life, है ना? And she would be very much averse to eat meat and eggs and not to hear about these things also, है ना? So one time what happened, and when she became elderly and she went to college, she came. She was having one friend and who was very much fond of meat. And now, over a period of time, she wanted to marry that boy, but she married to that boy with a one condition. What was the condition? That I will not eat meat, and in my house, in our house, the meat will not be cooked. Nana, you have to, if you want to eat, you have to eat outside in the restaurant. Nana. But it will not be cooked in home. Now what? The boy agreed for the marriage. They both got married. And after marriage, after getting married, after 6 months, what happened? And the boy, for 6 months, boy was going out. That boy was going out and eating the meat and all that non-veg and whatever he want. So now this girl, and she started feeling, array, and I married to this person, and I'm. It seems like I'm torturing him, and I should be little bit compassionate upon that person. And then she started telling, okay, no issue, and you don't eat there outside, and you can bring in house, but I will not cook. You only have to cook. He told, okay. Yes. Then after 6 months, he has done again like that. Then after that, what happened? The girl, she told her, I should not be so much hard-hearted. I should be some compassion. I should have some compassion. Then she started telling that, and to this boy, okay, I will cook, but I will not eat. For some months, she cooked also. But then she started thinking that I am cooking for my husband, but I am not tasting only. So let me taste it. She started tasting it and she started liking it. The same lady who was very much averse to the meat, now she started liking. Not only liking, now she started making different recipes. Not only she was making different recipes, but she was making different YouTube and shorts, and she was putting on the YouTube. She has become pracharak of that thing. So my question to all of you that how this change could happen? Yes, anyone?
In the association with that type of person. Let's see.
हाँ, what happened exactly? हिरण्यमय नेता को बताएंगे.
यस प्रभु जी, एसोसिएशन प्रभु जी.
हाँ, एसोसिएशन से हुआ क्या?
उसका चेतना चेंज हो गया.
कैसे
मतलब जो
चेंज
उसका
हुआ?
नॉलेज था, जो इंटेलिजेंस था, बार बार संग करके उसके लिए यूज करने लगे.
ओके, उमंग वासने को.
Hare Krishna, Poo. Pooji, she has some soft corner for that person, Pooji. So from that soft corner, that desire peeped into her heart, Pooji. That's how it grew into her heart, Pooji.
हाँ, तो almost how it is
So if you have a
happening? तो
like soft,
तो exactly. So having soft corner means what? That being having a feeling for that person coming, and that means sangha actually, है ना? So because of that sangha with him, है ना, what happens? She also came into the mode of passion and ignorance. What we say, her mode initially was in goodness. Now her mode changes to more of passion and ignorance. And because of coming to the passion and ignorance, her liking and disliking also changed. है ना? And now liking, because chariot of the mind is now there in the passion and ignorance, and due to that, his like her liking and disliking also changed. Initially, her liking and disliking were according to goodness, so that's how she was averse to meat, but now she became completely attached to meat because of this. So then Krishna says that this kind of a person, although he is very good in goodness, although he is very good seemingly, but he is accidentally good. I do not like such person. And he is not devotee. And but other side, somebody is my devotee. How devotee's chariot moves? Krishna says, even my devotee have committed some mistake. Even he's committed some abominable mistake, but he is fixed in his bhakti. And so uh, I call him as a dharmatma. 9th chapter, if you see 33-34 verse, apicheta sudracharo bhajate ma mananya bha, and sadhu reva sa mantavya. This is my mantavya, this is my mantavya, that he is a sadhu. And next, or if he is not a sadhu, he will quickly become sadhu. It means quickly he'll become dharmatma. So then how it is like that? Because then Krishna says that because he is my devotee chariot. How does devotee's chariot moves? So he says that the devotee's chariot has two wheel. What is the two wheel? That he accepts, one wheel is accept whatever favorable for Krishna consciousness, another wheel is reject whatever is unfavorable for Krishna consciousness. That's why devotee's chariot always moves toward my lotus feet. है ना? The chariot may sometime may become slow because of previous conditioning. The chariot may sometime go backward, but the direction of chariot will always remain same because the chariot has the two functioning. What is that? That is accept favorable, reject unfavorable. And the devotee means what? He has taken shelter of Krishna. He understands that Krishna is my master. I need to please Krishna. Yes, my mind, my senses are pulling me back, but I will continue Krishna consciousness. I will not leave Krishna. And because of this attitude of a devotee, Krishna loves him. And that's how Krishna says, although right now he may not have all good qualities, but he, by my mercy, he will cultivate, he will have all good qualities because he's striving for them. He's trying to practice them. है Like all of you understood this concept, na? Now it will be very easy to understand this, the thing. Anybody has any doubt regarding this right now? What we have discussed.
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
Yes, मैं
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी.
प्रभु जी, मेरा क्वेश्चन ये है कि ऐसा तो डिवोटीज के साथ भी होता है कि माया उनको ऐसे ही थोड़ा थोड़ा प्रलोभन देके और
हाँ,
फिर उनका पूरा पूरा उनको
right.
बदल देती है.
हाँ, देखो, that's why Krishna says devotee means what? That's why we need to understand devotee means having a right value system. What is the value system? That Krishna is my master and I will try my best to do whatever favorable for Krishna consciousness. Whatever unfavorable, I'll reject it. And he strives for it. So his chariot may become slow, his chariot may go a little bit backward, but then his heart is what? I want to please Krishna. I want to be. So sometimes what happen when all the problems come, that is the offenses when devotees commit, then Krishna personally kind of covers up the bhakti. And, and then his chariot gets stopped for some period of time. But over a period of time, when we comes out that offensive mentality, become appreciative of devotees, then what happen? His chariot moves. Yes, Umang Varshniko.
Puji, like this devotion to Krishna, Puji, if it is instead of Krishna, but to some aspect of Krishna, like Om, like Krishna expanded like Om, like Arya Samaji people. So will it happen with them as well, Puji? Same thing? Because they are
No,
dedicated to
here,
Om and
no, this is as we see here, the Lord is telling here, unalloyed devotion to me. Krishnera Saranam. This is exclusively who are Om. They are the impersonal aspects means that is the most of the Jnani yogi. They don't have that feeling for Krishna. Understanding na? The personal aspects of Krishna. Okay, so let us move ahead now. And that's how we see that actually if somebody start practicing Krishna consciousness, the seed of bhakti comes, then there is a two leaves immediately appeared. That is one is called Klesagni, another is called Subhda. What is Subhda? The all auspicious qualities one get and start getting. But here Krishna is it is very important to strive for them also. And now the first two qualities has been given. What is that? The Krishna is beginning here with the humility. Because humility is another very important quality to make progress in the spiritual path. And there is a with humility, then there is a told pridelessness. So amanitvam, adambitvam. It seems the both are same. Humility and pridelessness. So why Krishna is mentioning separately? Yes, anybody like to tell? Humility and pridelessness. Both are same. It looks like that.
Really, sometimes we become pride thinking how humble we are.
Okay. What? Can you mention again?
Sometimes we take pride in thinking that, oh, how humble I
Okay.
am.
Okay. Anybody else? Any guess?
तो ये एक तरीके से वैसे ही है जैसे लाइक एक तो है कि मटेरियल मिजरीज को छोड़ने के लिए भक्ति करना, दूसरा हम कृष्णा की भक्ति करें तो वो अपने आप ही चले जाएंगे, तो दोनों ऐसा टाइप मतलब ऐसा रिलेशन
Uh,
दोनों में
no,
डायलॉग
no,
में।
no. Let us say the what I also heard from some senior devotee. So he was telling that what is the meaning of that? The meaning of humility means what? That you have certain uh, you have certain things, but you are not proud of that thing. You know, exactly the statement. Let me speak to all of you. This is humility means not being proud when we have a reason to be proud. This is the meaning of humility. And not being proud when we have a reason to be proud. Like for example, somebody is rich, so he has a reason to become proud. है ना? But still he is not proud. Then that is called amanitva. Then what is pridelessness then? है ना? The pridelessness is what? When one is proud, when one does not have a reason to be proud. What is adambitvam? Not being proud when we do not have reason to be proud. है ना? जैसे कोई somebody is a beggar, but he says that I am a billionaire. This is called damba. है ना? In this also the thing comes. Okay, let me just share the notes. It will be very easy for. दिख रहा है आप लोगों को?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. This is amanitvam, not being proud when we have a reason to be proud. है ना? Getting. So he's not proud, although he is like you see Yudhishthir Maharaj, है ना? He was so much opulence he was having, but still Yudhishthir Maharaj was not proud. है ना? We see the Amrish Maharaj also in that sense, है ना? They were so humble. But another side, what is the meaning of Adam Bitwa? But he does not have anything. He's pauper, but still he says that I am very rich man. है ना? The Prabhupada says in that sense, the many of the religionists will be there. They will be telling they are God. है ना? Like that Biskasen was there. Ram Krishna Ram Falgu Bhagwan, but he himself would proclaim himself to be God. है ना? In Bhakti Vinod Thakur's time. So he's not a Bhagavan, but he's proclaiming to be Bhagavan. This is called Adam Bitva. है ना? But that's what Prabhupada also mentioned in the Prabhupada. है ना? This is. Yes, somebody can read this. Humility means just highlighted one.
Humility means that one should not be anxious to have the satisfaction of being honored by others.
This is the definition given by Srila Prabhupada. What is the definition? Not to be anxious to have a satisfaction of being honored by others. है ना? So it means what he's not expecting honor. Although he has so many good quality. He's rich. But still he's not expecting that people should respect me. And he is in particular post position, all that, but still he does not expect people to respect him. The example is given here, like uh, Sanatan Goswami was there. And so Sanatan Goswami did not expect any respect, but he gave full respect to others. Like for example, uh, when Sanatan Goswami and Rupa Goswami would be sitting in their palaces, in the Ramakeli, so that time they would read Bhagavatam together with many Brahmanas, and they were actually the prime minister and finance minister, but they would simply just being as a simple person, they would be reading simple Brahmana like others. They would be reading the Bhagavatam with them, and that would at that time any new Brahmana would join them. So this Rupa and Sanatan Goswami would get down from their seats and go to that Brahmana, wash his feet, pay obeisances to him, then bring him in the assembly, and then they would begin the reading Bhagavatam. So we see this is called humility, not expecting any respect, but giving respect. Uh, and then you see the Pandavas, although due to Dhritarashtra only, what happened? All the battle of Kurukshetra began. But when after the battle of Kurukshetra, Yudhishthira Maharaj specifically would go and pay obeisances to Dhritarashtra and cared for the Dhritarashtra, gave full respect to Dhritarashtra. So this shows the humility of the Pandavas. Like we see, the Srila Prabhupada was one time giving one lecture and he was talking about the Varnasram, Brahmachari Grahastha Vanprastha, Sannyasa Ashram. And then he was also talking about the Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. So then one of the person got up and then he's asking to Prabhupada that which class you belong. And the Prabhupada told, I am the servant of all these four classes. And the Prabhupada did not say that I am sannyasi or something like that. But the humility of Srila Prabhupada was what he, he his mood was that he's the servant of. It means what he's giving respect to this uh, all these personalities, all these people. And And another thing, like we see, many examples can be seen specifically in Prabhupada disciples. Like one time, somebody asked to His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj that Maharaj, uh, how you are so humble? And so he was looking for some the transcendental answer, and, but then Maharaj told that because I practice it. And he didn't. Why? Because that time the devotee was looking for some transcendental answer. Maharaj, because I practice it. It means he wanted to say that we need to practice this humility. And then what will happen? This humility will come in our life. And the same way, Bhakti Swami Maharaj life also we see. And the Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj also, like uh, he was so humble. And so one example comes that one time some problem happened in the temple in Delhi, and one devotee became annoyed with Maharaj and physically reacted on the Maharaj. So then Maharaj was so humble that he did not reacted to that devotee. And although he was in like taking care of construction and all that, and on leading position, but still Maharaj did not reacted to that person. So this is shows the humility. Humility means not to be anxious to have a satisfaction of being honored by others. And then this is pridelessness. What is the pridelessness? Means one should not prideless means what that I told that when one does not have a reason to be proud, but still is proud. And here Prabhupada is saying one should not hanker after the material deception. And the people are very anxious to be famous for their religion. Consequently, sometimes it is found that without understanding the principle of religion, one enters into some group which is not actually following religious principle, then want to advertise himself as a religious mentor. And as for actual advancement in spiritual science, one should have a test to see how far he is progressing. And so he can judge by these items. Okay. Now next is what non-violence. So these qualities we'll see quickly. And some of the qualities I'll focus, other qualities we'll just go through. Yes, somebody can read this non-violence.
Non-violence is generally taken to mean not killing or destroying the body, but actually, non-violence means not to put others into distress. People in general are trapped by ignorance in the material concept of life, and they perpetually suffer material pains. So, unless one elevates people to spiritual knowledge, one is practicing violence.
The non-violence means not to put others in distress. Well, the general non-violence means we feel that physically we should not do something. But here Prabhupada is telling not to put other person into distress. But simultaneously Prabhupada is telling it is not up to this. But what we have to do, we have to preach Krishna consciousness. That will bring people to the joyful state. And that is actually called non-violence. The Prabhupada is bringing the definition of non-violence from the very down to the very high level actually. Uh, the lowest understanding is what physically we should not hamper other living entity. Then higher understanding is what that mentally we should not give any distress to them. Then more higher understanding is what that we give Krishna consciousness to them. That is non-violence. So yesterday we were in Dev Prayaga. So when we were doing Harinam Sankirtan, then many people joined in Harinam Sankirtan, and they started coming and many started dancing with us. So then all devotees they were feeling, my God, their faith on the Sankirtan has increased, and people were also very, very joyful. So when we perform Sankirtan, immediately people become very joyful. This is actually called non-violence. The preaching Krishna consciousness, that is one sense. Their tolerance, somebody can read tolerance.
Tolerance means that one should be practiced to bear insult and dishonor from others. If one is engaged in the advancement of spiritual knowledge, there will be so many insults and much dishonor from others.
As soon as you start practicing, there will be many difficulties will be coming, specifically from others. To tolerate, we need to tolerate it. And now my question to all of you that what should be our attitude? Then we can tolerate any situation very easily. Yes. what is the positive attitude we should have so that we can our tolerance become very easy for us.
So, we are able to think in this situation like it is my karma only. He is a nimitta matra.
This is the one thing. If I think that this person has become instrument of my own karma, yes, my
Yes.
okay, tolerating for the higher purpose, Mike Manipur is telling. Yes, we have some higher purpose, and if I don't tolerate, my lot of time and energy will be gone. And okay, anybody else is there? Okay, this is for my purification in the Nilpo. Good. So now
Prabhuji,
there is a one definition. Yes, Sasanko.
Prabhuji, जैसे महाराज speaks in most of the lectures like Trinadapi Sunichena Tarorapi Sahisnuna. So that principle, if we follow, then we
Is
will
it
be.
your question or you are talking about tolerance?
No, I was talking about tolerance. Then we will be able to practice
Yeah.
tolerance easily.
Okay, but that the one of the aspect of Trinadapi Sunichena is tolerance. Humble like a tree and tolerant like a tree. So the tolerance, we will be able to tolerate very easily. There is a one definition. What is that? That you keep small thing as small, you keep big thing as big. Then the tolerance become very easy. What is a small thing? कोई आके आपके ऊपर गुस्सा हो गया, है ना? Is this is the most important thing. If I react it, and a lot of my time and energy will be gone. What is my big thing? That my time and energy is more important for practicing Krishna consciousness. Let me use it for. Like for example, you are giving a class. In a class, one devotee is creating disturbance, है ना? And then you start speaking on that subject matter only to that devotee. The whole class we can get diverted, है ना? So now what happened? Your main purpose was to speak on a particular subject matter. Now there is one devotee was doing some distraction. He was creating some problem. That was a small thing. Now we made that small thing into big. The whole class got distracted. है ना? So when we do not tolerate, then what happened? Small things become big, and big thing. Big thing was what? To give lecture on that particular so that all devotees' consciousness can be elevated. So that became small. But if we tolerate, the tolerance means what? Keep small things as small. Keep big thing as big. What is the big thing? The Krishna conscious practice and the preaching Krishna consciousness, serving the Lord. That is a big thing. Keep the big thing as big and keep the small thing as this small. And is it is this clear?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Now next is simplicity. Somebody can read the simplicity.
Simplicity means that without diplomacy, one should be so straightforward that he can disclose the real truth even to an enemy. As for
So this simplicity. So simplicity means there is no duplicity. So that's why let's see when duplicity is there, then all problems comes actually. No. So Raghunath Das Goswami he says in Manasiksha, what he says that the path of a bhakti is just like you are going on the highway, Yamuna Expressway. Let us say you are going on the Yamuna Expressway with great speed, है ना? But your anarthas, our anarthas are like what? Our anarthas are like those thieves or robbers. They come on the highway, lust, anger, greed, and to steal the treasure of bhakti in our heart. है ना? So whenever you see that there is a thieves, that the robbers are there on the highway, you loudly cry out for the policeman. And who is the policeman? The devotees, the acharyas. You cry out for them. The association of devotees is, we should cry for that. And that when we cry for the devotees, then devotees will come as a policeman and they will save you. है ना? And then he says that this is, but if you are duplicitous, if one is duplicitous, then one will not be able to cry for that. है ना? So one is, duplicity means what? Then knowingly, then giving entrance to lust, anger, and greed. है ना? Knowingly allowing the thieves to take away our treasures. But we are simple, then one will be able to take shelter of devotees. That's what Raghunath Das Goswami says. And then this is Isan, you see that Isan was going with the Sanatan Goswami. So that time, the Sanatan Goswami was going in that forest of Jarikanda. And so that time when they were passing through that place, then there was one person who was the landlord of that place, and then he was a don also in one sense. And then he could got to know by the astrologer that this Sanatan Goswami has some wealth, and he want to steal away that wealth. Uh, so then he gives them good facility, good arrangement. And that time Sanatan Goswami, uh, because he was there in politics, so he knew exactly why this person is acting in this way. There is some problem has to be there. Then he asked his son, that, are you having some valuable things? His son tells, I do not have. I just have one coin. And now next is cleanliness. So all of you know already, external and internal. The essential part of advancement in spiritual life. Then steadiness. Steadiness means the one should be very determined to make progress in his spiritual life. Without such determination, one cannot make tangible progress. So this is also the steadiness means one should be very determined. If one is not determined, then it will not be able to make progress. So now my question to all of you, that how this determination will come?
Association, Prabhuji.
Whose association?
Uh,
Non-devotee?
no, no, Prabhuji. लाइक जैसे शिला प्रभुपाद जी के केस में आता है, मतलब वो अपने गुरु का एसोसिएशन किए, उनके शिष्यों में आता है वो शिला प्रभुपाद का एसोसिएशन किए। ऐसे जो बहुत ही डिटरमाइंड डिवोटी हैं, अगर उनका हम भी एसोसिएशन करेंगे बाई वाणी या फिर उनका संग से फिजिकली, तो हम भी डिटरमाइंड होंगे।
Exactly. So one become very determined, one sees that other devotees were very determined in their practice. And then immediately one get inspiration. Yes, like-minded devotees. So the sadhu sangha has the four aspects actually. If you see the sadhu sangha, is called uh, sajatiya. What was the other one? Snigdha, sajatiya, snigdha, sadhu sang, satovare. These are the four aspects sadhu sang has. And in this all sajatiya means like-minded. Second is what? Is thus having snigdha, having the affection with each other. बट जस्ट हैविंग अफेक्शन फॉर ईच अदर और लाइक माइंडेड मतलब हम सेम जगह से हैं, हम दोनों राजस्थान से हैं, या हम दोनों यहाँ से यूपी के इस पर्टिकुलर ना सोनभद्र से हैं. यस, दैट कैन बी लाइक माइंडेड. बट देन अफेक्शन, हैविंग अफेक्शन फॉर ईच अदर, ये दोनों हो सकता है. बट इन दोनों के साथ व्यक्ति जाके मूवी भी देख सकता है. दैट इज नॉट साधु संघ. Sadhu Sangha means what? Then there is this third thing is what? The spiritual discussion. Sadhu Sangha, that is Sangha means that is a spiritual discussion has to be there in a Sangha. And Satovare means what? Opening the heart to each other. है ना. So actually, this very very important. Then when we associate with other devotee, it is important that we hear from them about their practice of Krishna consciousness, how they are taking some steps. And when we find that we ask some devotee that, oh, Prabhu, I am facing some challenges in my spiritual life. Then that devotee says, oh, this challenges I was facing 2 years before. And I followed, I went to this Prabhuji and he gave me this all solution and I followed it. I came out of that problem. Oh, Prabhu, you have followed it too. You were facing same problem 2 years before and you got this solution. Okay, I will also try to follow it. He become very much inspired. So this is called sadhushan. This is called association. And association does not mean just coming together eating just prasadam or just coming together. That is not. But has to be spiritual discussion. And okay, just 2 minutes. I'll take more to 5 minutes. Then self-control. Yes, somebody can read this.
Self-control means that one should not accept anything which is detrimental to the path of spiritual progress. One should become accustomed to this and reject anything which is against the path of spiritual progress. This is real renunciation.
Real renunciation means what? As I told you, the devotee means the anukula se sankalpa, pratikula se varjana. And whatever is unfavorable, he reject that. Okay. Then Papa says, yes, you can read this one also. This much I am just saying. The senses are so strong.
The senses are so strong that
Yes.
they are always anxious to have sense gratification. One should not cater to these demands which are not necessary. The senses should only be gratified to keep the body fit so that one can discharge his duty in the advancing in his spiritual life. The most important that uncontrollable, uncontrollable sense is the tongue. Rajiv, if one cannot control the tongue, then there is every possibility of controlling the other senses. The function of the tongue is to taste and to vibrate.
Exactly. So here Prabhupada is telling the tongue is the most important function, sense in one. It has to be, if it is controlled, then all other senses will be controlled. That is the sense control he mentions. Then false ego, this false ego means accepting oneself as a body. So that is false ego and acting according to that. And then further he goes. So this all of it. Next is what uh, one should try to understand the distress of acting birth, old age, disease, and death. And dukkha dosanu darsana. So that is also one of the qualities. And then detachment. So actually, what is the detachment from children, wife, and home? The detachment from them is what?